So I do not look any better than I did last week. I'm not paying attention to it, and I hope that you aren't either. But hi, I hope you had a fantastic week. We are back in the OG setting, back in my bedroom. Yeah. I don't really have any like updates on anything else other than the setting and the fact that I look the same as I did last week. So today I want to talk about, does God really hear me? Because I know that that's a common thing that we all feel, where it's like, do you even hear me? And I can say, like, for me in the beginning, when I like first gave my life to Jesus, I knew that he knew that I existed, but for whatever reason it didn't really click to me that he was also still watching and still hearing and still listening and still loving me. And so I had to learn a little bit on how to realize and know that he was truly listening to me. But I think the first step was realizing that anything that I cared about, he cared about more. And so, you know, even if it was like the slight little things that I didn't even need or didn't like care for that much, he still cared. And what was important to me or what I cared about was so much more important to him, and he cared about so much more. And so seeing him show up in those areas where it wasn't a big deal and it was a little thing to me, but I cared about it, and seeing him also care about it showed me like, oh, you actually do listen to me, and oh, actually you do hear me and you do see me. And that blew my mind for a minute too, the first time that happened. I tell this story all the time, but long story short, I really wanted this book that I didn't truly need, but I really wanted this book, and I prayed right before I went into the store, and I found the book right next to another book called The God of Little Things, and the book that I wanted was on sale, and I hadn't been able to find it anywhere. So that was his little, I hear you and I see you and I care about you and I care about the things that you care about. And so when that happened, I was like, whoa, you actually listen to me? Like, you hear my prayers? And then even in like the bigger things too, like there's been countless times where I've literally poured out my heart to God about the things that truly are important to me, and the things that, you know, truly are on my heart. My dog is right on my lap, so if you hear or see anything, that's him. Anyway, yeah, so in the times where I've like poured out my heart to him and I've truly like told him the things that are really important to me, and the things that really hurt me or that I want, or goals or situations, things that really burden me and that are truly important to me, I've felt him care in that. And I know that that's like, what are you talking about? I can't explain it, but I just feel him listening to me, and it's so full of compassion and understanding. It's so gentle and like really truly listening, and I just know that he understands exactly what I'm thinking and exactly what I'm feeling. It's not that I feel misunderstood in, you know, my everyday life, but there's just this level of understanding that he just goes right past. And I truly feel seen in every single area, every single thought, every single feeling that I have. He's sitting there and he's listening so carefully. Like, I just see him sitting next to me, listening carefully and full attention, with full of compassion and understanding me. And so that is like everything to me. And he's so patient too, that too. He's so very patient. He literally waits for me. I can feel him wait for me to finish talking before he says anything to me. And so that is like the main big thing of like knowing that he hears me, because even in the times where I've like poured out my heart to him and I still haven't gotten an answer for those things, or I still haven't heard a response or seen things move the way that I wanted them to, I'm okay with it, because I know that he hears me and that he understands me, and that's enough for me. And I know that that's like, Is it enough though? Because I don't know, some of these things that we pray are so like vulnerable and they're so deep into our hearts, and it's like, I care about this so much, but I think it's just a level of trust that I have for him, or in him, I have in him, where it's like I feel him and know that he's listening to me, and I know he understands what I'm thinking, and I know he understands what I feel. And I know that he cares about the things that I care about way more than I do. And so I just have to trust him with it. And that's like another part of like being vulnerable, which I've talked about before, but it's just trusting him with the deep parts of my heart and my soul, and the things that are so important to me, the things that are so vulnerable for me, and trusting that he will take care of it, and trusting that he will handle it and hold it gently, because he is gentle. I mean, if he can listen to me talk and talk and talk and talk and rant about the things that I want to talk about, the things that are important to me, he will be so gentle with the things that are scary for me, the things that are hard for me. That's my dog, please ignore that. He is beyond gentle and beyond gentle with me. And so I know that he's gentle and that he's so careful. He would be careful with the things that don't even mean that much to me. But I know for a fact, and I have so much trust in him, that he is so beyond careful with my heart and with the things that are important to me, with the things that are so vulnerable and scary for me. And I know that he understands and that he loves and cares about it way more than I do. And that he already knows. Like, I've talked about that before too, but it's like, he already knows what's in my heart. He already knows what I'm thinking. He already knows what I'm feeling, and still chooses to sit down and listen with me. And that's like, it's hard to know what I'm talking about unless you've experienced it. And so I say that because I want nothing more than for you to experience that, and to experience what it's like to have somebody, your creator, sit down and listen and pay so much attention to you. Because it's already healing enough. Like, when I feel something and I've gone through something and I need him and I need his help, and I just sit there and talk to him, I leave feeling so much better immediately. Now that could be just me, but I immediately feel better. And I think that that's so part of the relationship, because that's personal and it's intimate and it's just between you and him. Nobody is gonna know the things that you said to him. Nobody's gonna know what was said or what happened or anything. And it's just between you two, with the very most deepest parts of your soul and your heart. It's very one-on-one. And so I guess the next question would be, why can't I hear him? And I think, and I've said this before also, I think that a lot of the times we are so caught up in the prayer over who it's going to. And so we're so caught up in this part. Like, we'll put it into examples, okay? One of them is that I am telling God about how stressed I am and how hurt I am and how upset about all these different situations in my life, and I'm so unhappy with it, and I am not agreeing with any of this, and I don't want it to be like this, and I want change now, and I don't want any of this to happen, and I need it to be fixed. But also, now I'm gonna go do my own thing after I told you all that. And the other example is that, okay, God, all of this is happening right now. This is how I feel. I'm not happy, but I love you and I trust you and I know that you care. And so I submit it to your feet, and I'm also gonna listen for you to say something. What do you say about this? And I'm not just gonna go pour my heart out and then leave it. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to sit, and I'm going to listen to you and truly listen. Sometimes I think that we are so caught up in in ourselves and what we feel rather than him. And that's why he says seek first the kingdom of God. Because the minute that our focus is taken off anything but him is when it all comes crashing down, and we're like, God, why can't you hear me? Like, I'm talking, why don't you hear me? But he's like, you're not listening, actually. Yeah, so I think that we're too busy talking and we're too busy focusing on other things to listen to him, and then we question why he's not answering. And so I think, yeah, pouring your heart out is a step for sure, but listening to him is also the next step, because if you don't listen, you're not going to hear him. And then maybe it's not even that, and it's just I am listening and I'm trying and I'm really, really listening after I pour my heart out. Why isn't he answering? And that is a question that I do not know the answer to. I don't know why he doesn't answer some prayers. There are things that he will answer and things that he won't answer. And for that, we don't know. He says that my ways are not your ways. And so there are some things that we will never know. There's some things that he will reveal to us way later. There's things that he'll reveal in the moment. But why he chooses to reveal things and why he chooses not to is his decision, and he has his reasons for it, and we won't know. And I think that just trusting that he has a reason for not telling us or for not answering, and again going back and knowing, okay, yeah, you care and you know everything that's in here and you care about it way more than I care about it. But I also trust that you have my best interest at heart. I also trust that you see things that I don't see, and you know things that I don't know. And I trust you with what you do, with what you say, with what you don't say. I trust you. And I think that that's ultimately what he wants, is your faith. Even if you don't know what's happening, even if you don't have control over that situation, is just your full trust in him is what he desires so much. But even if he chooses to not answer you in that moment, or even if he chooses to not answer you about that thing, even if he chooses to answer you in that moment, regardless of when he chooses to answer you, he still hears you. And there's a whole bunch of verses I can put right here, and there's probably way more too, that states that he listens and that he cares. Like, he cares so much that he listens to you, and he listens to your prayers, and he listens to your heart. And so whether he chooses to answer something or not, or whether he chooses to move that situation in that moment or not, whether it takes him 50 years or tomorrow, is not up for us to be like, oh, okay, so you don't hear me. Because that's not necessarily what that means. It means that he sees things that you don't see. It means that he knows things that you don't know. It means that there's a much bigger picture that you don't see, and that only he is who sees it all. And so, again, trusting him, which is so much easier said than done, but your trust in him will ultimately be your biggest help, because he delights in those who trust him. And I also just want to say what a privilege it is. Like, I don't know if you guys have read Esther, but Esther had to talk to a king to fix an issue, and Mordecai was her guardian, and he was like, you gotta go talk to the king about this issue, because she was queen. Esther was queen, and Mordecai was like, you have to go talk to the king about this issue so that all of us don't die. And so she's like, if I go talk to the king, I could die. Like, I'm not supposed to go talk to the king without him asking for me first. She could have died going to the king and talking first. And I think that it's such a privilege that we get to talk to the King of Kings without any punishment, or without any kind of, oh, maybe I shouldn't, or maybe this will happen if I do. That is so cool that we get to talk to our Creator and the King of Kings and just pour out our hearts to him, and him just listening and caring. Him being like, yeah, I'm the king, but I want to know what's in your heart, and I want to see you, and I want to hold you, and I want to comfort you. Tell me what's wrong. I want to know. I want to listen to you. I think that that's such a privilege, and that is only a privilege that we get to have through Jesus. And I think that that's just beyond beautiful. I think that being able to come to him in prayer and tell him all that we're feeling, yeah, I think it's such a privilege. And we only have Jesus to thank for that. And so even if I don't feel like he's hearing me or listening to me, the fact that I can just talk to the King of Kings whenever I desire, and knowing that he wants to know and he wants to listen, yeah, I think it really comes down to a lot of trust, and that's hard. Trusting is hard, especially if it's blind trust. But yeah, in it all, it's his love for you. Even if he doesn't answer something right away or never answers anything, like I said before, it's just stuff that he knows that you don't know and that he's taking care of. And it's all out of love. Every single thing that he does is out of love for you. And so, yeah, God hears you and he loves you and he listens and he wants to know and he wants you to talk to him about everything. So don't just, think that he's not hearing you and so give up on talking to him, because that is not what he wants at all. That's a little love letter today. Is that he loves you and he listens to you, and he most definitely hears you and he listens. And so, yeah, ask him to help you trust, because he will. Ask and you shall receive. But yeah, thanks for listening to me talk, and I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.